Well, the time has arrived. Chris Nephilim is back with more streaming. It's been a rough 2 weeks, I have to say. Been working from the office for the past 2 weeks, and I dreaded every single second I was there. I had to use the commute, so, public transport mid the pandemic, no one's wearing masks, or they're wearing them below the nose area. It's just... Not to mention, waking up I don't know, 4 hours before you need to work because, you need to get yourself sorted, you need to take the dog out, all that stuff, and then eat something, and then wasted all this time to get into the office. Oh, God, I dreaded this. I'm not gonna lie, it was terrible. But yeah, I'm finally past that moment. 2 weeks have passed, and I'm returning to working from home, which is good. And that is definitely a good thing that I can also get back to playing Tomb Raider. I so fucking missed actually playing Tomb Raider 4. Now let me see. Ah, yes, got 3 stars. Brilliant. Well, this is Earth. We can already do this one. I hope everyone is doing fantastic, that they are enjoying their weekend. I know that there is an event. Something charity, something Tomb Raider, something. I found out about it just yesterday, so I was like, yeah, I have my other plans, so I didn't cancel streaming. I don't want to, because I just really want to do it from time to time, regardless to whether there's something happening in the community or not. It's fine. I'm fine with the fact that there will be probably 0 people on the stream. I'm absolutely fine with it. It's all good. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm doing this playing for fun because I have a lot of fun playing Tomb Raider. Yeah, as it says in the title, I had my jab today. Let's just say I'm not a big fan of needles, so if anyone asks me how it went, well, well, I'm alive, aren't I? This is Mars. Should this be the closest one? I never know which Mars is, whether it's the closest or the one that's a bit further from Earth. Because this entire model is incorrect, so it's kind of annoying to figure out Mars and Mercury. I'm not sure. I think it's Mercury. Nope, that's not right. So you'll be going over there. Fine. It's absolutely fine. I have no issues with it. God, I miss streaming. I was so low in energy after I came back from work every single day. I was like, no, fuck it. I can't stream like this. I just would fall asleep halfway through it, and that would have been so bad for me. And to be honest, I fell asleep halfway through watching anything when I was watching people's streams this week in the afternoon, or when I was... I don't know, playing games. I would just I'm fine, I'm playing a game, it's fun. And sometime later, I just realized I fell asleep whilst playing it. So I was like, oof, yeah, we're low on energy here. Obviously, I don't drink coffee because it does nothing to me, and I think I would probably easily reach my limit of energy drinks if I would use them, so I decided not to. Well, that's fine. That's all good. Because I finally went through that terrible period of my life. Oh, I dread working from the office. All the people, the hello, how are you doing? It's so fake, so... unnecessary. And all this commute, this travelling back and forth. And in the mid-pandemic, it's just very unreasonable. It might have been viable during the summer. And I think I would have probably dreaded it a bit less in the summer than right now. All the dressing, all the clothes. It's cold as almost winter, so I had to dress quite a lot of stuff. One more pull. Meanwhile, my Fluffy's farting his ass out. I think I'm gonna suffocate here. No, one more. Now the sun is going to be the worst one because it's just like you just have to drag it through the entire room and it's at the other corner of the entire chamber. So, oh god. I'm still trying to figure out what would be the practical purpose of a model of a sword in this particular size. Right, let's push it this way. I wish someone remade Tomb Raider 4, like the entirety of the game, like every area. Oh god, I wish we could just, I mean, remade, like, reimagined. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they would do, like, changes to the levels and the riddles and make them, you know, a bit different, but I would love it if it kept the atmosphere and the climate of the game. That would have been still very, very cool. I don't think we're gonna get any official ones. And I know that remaking a game that's this long is probably gonna be extremely tedious. So I would understand if they will never even touch Tomb Raider 4. Because all the brilliance aside, this game is just extremely long and there's a lot to do. And I know that some people might not like that. There we go. Nice and large med pack. Before we take care of this ammo, which I am absolutely never going to use, we are going to get ourselves an open door. Because if you don't open it now, it's going to be extremely long route around the hallway to actually get to this room when I exit through the other end. Here we go. This riddle is pretty straightforward. You just need to go through the entire circle and pull every lever just once. In a sequence, of course. And voila, you've got the passage opened. Not an extremely hard task to do. Is there a medpack down there? Because I don't remember. No. But there is something causing bubbles for some reason. You know, this really feels like a Greek period library. I really worked hard to make the areas that are different from each era of Egyptian history to actually properly be reflected in the atmosphere and feel of them, which I really, really appreciate, because sometimes in the older Tomb Raiders they would just do something that looks, you know, they want a jungle and they do a jungle, but yeah, they put piranhas in India, so it was like, did you ever do any research, or did you assume that, you know, no one's gonna say that, wait, this doesn't make sense, you know? I know it was 1998, but when you did Peru, you didn't do Mayan pyramids because, you know, people would know that this isn't right. I think Tomb Raider 3 is the most poorly researched game in terms of the accuracy of the areas. They didn't even properly research their own museum. You know, the Natural History Museum that turns out to be the British Museum, and it just, yeah, what? And they didn't even make it real in terms of, like, what's in it. I don't think they even visited that museum or anything like it, and it's not like they were not in the UK to do that. So despite everything, like, Tomb Raider 3 is, like, probably the weirdest game in the franchise. It's not, like, as bad as Chronicles, in my opinion, but yeah, I think they could have done a little bit better. Uh-oh. And I'm gonna die. Yeah, whatever. The lighting in these levels in Alexandria is really something special. I mean, don't get me wrong, the entire game has an awesome lighting system, but yeah, I think excuse me, I just need to make sure I'm watching what's happening on chat. So, yeah, okay. Back at it. One other added bonus from jumping above instead of falling down to this pit is that you don't trigger the metallic ore here. And you don't have to fight him. I'm always curious, why couldn't you just squeeze in here? But I think they did a flip map here. Not a bad incubation. It's cool that they learned to do new types of riddles or passages instead of just push a lever, open a doorway, find a key, open a doorway. Like, sometimes you need it to complete a very intricate riddle that was really simple in the principle, but still required you to do a little bit more than just, you know, find the bloody key and then move forward. Sure, they're still doing the key stuff, and backtracking is still like a huge part of the game, but it's not as tedious as it was in the first 3 titles. Since I've played every single game in the franchise, I really do appreciate change and variety. And they really did that well. Well, maybe except for the camera. They didn't change the camera and it's absolutely atrocious. With this close up to the ass position. They did a Toby cam before Toby returned to the franchise. Now, the first key that you need in the Pharaoh's Temple of Osiris is right here. The thing is, if you move around this room, like try to leave it through the normal exit instead of coming through here, you will spawn a fire demon, and it's going to chase your ass until you find some water, and it's not close, I'm telling you right here, right now. And it's probably gonna start make you burn by the time you get to the water, so it's very, very tedious. So I do recommend like walking slowly to the plinth, pick up the key, and what's the key name? Pharaoh's Pillar, and yeah, then just walk slowly back to the way you came. Ah, shit. Forgot there's a door. There we go. Now we just need to wait till the floor burns through. Which is another very brilliant riddle. I mean, it's not very complicated, but you know, adding the elemental puzzle into the equation is such a breath of fresh air. Of course, at first I had no idea you used torches, because I don't think you've interacted with a lot of torches up until now in the game, so when you play it for the first time it's like a what? Although the torch was pretty fairly lit, so I guess you could figure that one out, I suppose. But yeah, that's one of the elements I really enjoy and appreciate in Tomb Raider 4. There we go, nice. And that's why I opened the door in the other side in the corner when I was going to the fire door. Because if you don't open it, you have to go through the planetary model and then just, you know, walk all around. It just takes enough unnecessary time, which you really don't need to commit. I don't remember which door should I take. Something tells me this one is a wrong one, but we'll try it anyway. No, that's the wrong one. I've already been there. I always knew I knew I always make a bad decision here, and I should go to the last one. Here we are. No, wait. I got the scroll. Why am I even coming here? Oh, stupid me. Oh, all this way for nothing. Here we go. Yes, please, give me more Uzi ammo. How much do I have at the moment? The only weapon I'm missing is the revolver. Oh, 470. That's not bad, although we could do better. Now try to. Now Lara will demonstrate her music skills. Sorry if I'm slurping, but I'm drinking an spoken energy drink because even after the jam, I felt so fucking weak. That was just immediate reaction though, and it was rather more to the needle than anything else. Yes, it's true, I'm no Lara Croft, unfortunately. I am bothered with the jab because of the needle. And that was probably one of the reasons why it took me so long to actually get properly vaccinated. Here we are, and we are in the level called Hall of Demetrius, which I don't think has much to do with... Is this like Minoan art? Bald and naked people? It feels too much Minoan than Greek. It's not like these cultures never I mean, they didn't interact much. I was always curious whether you can open this door, but I found nothing that could actually trigger it, so I assume it's just decorative. So it looks like a door, like assuming, like building to the element that this place was actually used. At least that's my guess. I really have no clue. I don't think anyone ever said anything about it.
The tablet was returned to the sands that had spawned it beneath the citadel.
The citadel of Saladin in ancient Cairo, foretelling of the time in the distant millennia when the stars of Orion come together. The ceremony is performed and set entombed.
Hello, my dear. Another unannounced visit. I see you have found the scroll we unearthed. Interesting reading, yeah?
Only interesting if you know what it refers to.
Yes, quite correct, my dear. The armor on its own is no more than a curiosity, but with the amulet and the ceremonial tablet, it becomes an important historical artifact, predating the Bible by centuries.
There is more at stake here than the sum of the pieces, Von Croy. Ever heard of Armageddon? Unpleasant, even by your standards.
Rebinding the spirit of Set, putting the armor on the statue at midnight at the turn of the millennium, so on and such like. I was never a believer in this magical hocus pocus. Fools, after her!
And now we have to deal with his goons. Well, I think I have enough ammo on the shotgun department that I could use shotgun safely. First knot is over there, so I need to go there anyway. I do love my shotgun in this game. Of course, revolver is always the #1 weapon, but you don't get it until you get to Cairo, or unless you use cheats. So we are on the way to Cairo, unknowingly yet. Oh, actually, we just found out that we're going to Cairo. Now, in order to get out of here, just one single push of the lamp. Chasm, you got the wrong game again. This has nothing to do with Jonah. There is not a word that even resembles Jonah's name. I hate this. Get force damage at the beginning of the level. Why is this music here? There's no threat whatsoever in here. Yes, I'm perfectly sure there's not a name Jonah in this game. Have you even played this game? Can I introduce you to the intricacies of the Tomb Raider franchise, perhaps? I don't know if you've heard of it. By the way, last night I was watching Ark Raiders tackling Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Why? And you know what? You know what's worse? She made me continue my PC playthrough after the recent patch. I hate this game, but if I set aside the story, I guess the gameplay and the visuals are alright. I guess I can say that much. Well, that's the franchise post 2003. Before then, it was just like, you know, girl having fun, doing what she loves, saving the world, only by accident, mostly. More like playing for sport. I like that. there are any pickable collectibles here. I never actually fully explored this underwater section, but I don't remember ever finding anything. I think it's pretty straightforward, just... Uh-oh. I hear the fish. Are you trying to mock me, cousin? I mean, for fuck's sake. This game has lost its complexity after it was handed over to Crystal Dynamics. I sincerely hope that the troubles surrounding Marvel's Avengers, or should I say Crab Avengers, because they look like poor man's Avengers, is going to, you know, either make them more lenient towards what the people want from the franchise, or that will remove them entirely from the equation of Tomb Raider. Because I can't be bothered. If I hear one more game that will do, oh, my father did this, or my father did that. I mean, crikey, can't you do one thing for sport? Oh, I'm so happy I've actually got back to streaming. I was hoping to stream this week, but my work is just like... Well, I had daddy issues when I was younger and was playing this game. That doesn't mean I want to have those daddy issues in the favorite franchise I'm playing. For crying out loud, do something different, do something fresh, do something entertaining. You know, it's funny, people say that Uncharted was a poor man's Tomb Raider or something like it, that it wasn't actually what it, you know, the old games were about. No, wrong. Shit. There you go, bitch. Well, they did tackle the mother in the DLC for Rise. I was hoping that they would be done with the mother and father issue. But then again, it's Crystal Dynamics. You can't have expectations to them. I think at this point even Square Enix stopped having expectations to that studio. Now, where should I go first? I think I should go left first. Yes, that's correct. I mean, even if the storyline was pretextual, you know, like it was just like, oh, she heard about an artifact and then goes for it, and then, you know, all hell is unleashed. It would have at least, you know, be fun. Maybe. But yeah, you might be right in that statement that they can't do a soap drama. I mean, you know what's funny is that Uncharted actually did a soap drama, but they did it right. So you know the drama between, you know, Drake being not forthcoming to Elena. No, shit. That was actually some relevant shit, and you know, people could actually take something from it. But no, they had to do the Tomb Raider. A female lead, a feminist icon, follow her father's footsteps. I mean, they could at least do the mother, who's the archaeologist, but no, they had to redo the Tomb Raider movie with Angelina Jolie, just with a poor man's Angelina Jolie with Camilla Laddington. Oh well, I guess you can't have expectations from a studio that has not provided anything solid in at least a decade or so. No, I'm not dropping onto this. Well, the old Tomb Raider Lara, the classic one, could have been a feminist icon. She wasn't because, you know, she came out in the times where the wokeness and feminism was not very popular, but I think that would have changed today. I mean, if they made her in the same characteristics as they're doing, as they did her in the 90s, but with modern take, you know, it would still be more relevant than the reboot Lara is. And I think it's one of the reasons that reboot Lara isn't an icon to anyone except for maybe the crybabies that, you know, were raised during the time of reboot. Yeah, but you know, it's hypocrisy, and that's the funniest thing is that they raised. So sorry, Michel. I'm sorry, my doggy just came in. Do you want attention, darling? You know, when I'm streaming, you just need to, like, you know, go to sleep or something. It's too early for walkies. And it's not like you need to go now. You're still, well, fine. You've been outside 5 hours ago. Stop complaining, Fluff. Idź się połóż, miś. Oh, shit. Go away. Go away, you piece of shit. Or should I say piece of bones? Oh, it grinds my gears just as well. Don't worry. It's... Everyone who loved the classic, correct Lara Croft will be bothered by how she was mishandled by Crystal ever since they got her. That's not gonna change. They'll just put some powder on her and think that that's fine. I can't even express how much against the unification I am at the moment, because I know they will try to force both Laras into the timeline, which is completely incompatible. So, you know, making both of those timelines relevant like this is just plain bad. Now, which one was right? I'm just gonna find out by going there. I don't think that one's the right one. Oh, that's the correct one. Yeah, it's going to infuriate both sides instead of, you know, keeping the reboot fans happy with shoving them with the mediocre, average next-door girl, and instead they're gonna force the badass Lara into the same guise of the reboot Lara, which is just plain wrong. And it's gonna piss a lot of people. And I mean quite a lot, because that's probably going to be infuriating both sides. Like, I know the reason why they're doing it, but they should just keep reboot Lara to reboot and don't touch the classic one. I think they should just do two separate timelines, you know, like they did the Lara Croft one. They should just, you know, continue with the titles, something of Tomb Raider, you know, mediocrity of Tomb Raider, downfall of Tomb Raider. There's so many titles they can choose from, and continue with the reboot idea for Tomb Raider, and then do the proper Tomb Raider titles, you know, Tomb Raider and Temple of Osiris, you know, it's like the Lara Croft brand, but just, you know. Wait, I think I should go here. absolutely, I don't think that Crystal should even touch the Tomb Raider and something. I think they should totally like ask Eidos Montreal to do it, and they could even use the old Crystal engine. Although I have to say, I'm recently leaning towards the engine they used for Guardians of the Galaxy. By the way, you won't believe, Guardians of the Galaxy has been developed with Hitman engine. Apparently, after the divorce of IO Interactive and Square Enix, which was the best thing IO could have ever done, they went solo. They did one collaboration with Warner Brothers, who were the publisher for Hitman 2, but apparently they were not too happy, and they published under their name, but actually Square Enix published the latest installment of Hitman. So Hitman 3 was actually published by Square Enix still, but, and that's the funny part, that's the funny part, they signed a contract in which, I think that, I'm not sure about that, but that's my assumption, is that the underlying element of the contract is that they allowed to use their engine for some of the projects. And because the proprietary engine of IO Interactive is extremely efficient, because it has its own shading system, and I have to say it's extremely gorgeous, and the levels with the Glacier engine can be just so good. They just made an awesome game. I was watching Laurie, Gaming Mum, last night, and then Gaming Dad, because they swapped pads. And I have to say that despite the fact that all the Marvelness of Marvel in Guardians of the Galaxy, the game is still just filled with fun. It's just, I don't know much about the comic iterations of Guardians of the Galaxy, but I think the pure definition of that franchise is just that they're having fun. They're just a bunch of misfits that all together they fight about all the stuff against all the evil enemies, but they do it by having a lot of fun, and I think they captured it quite well. And I think Eidos Montreal has proven yet again that they can actually get the source material and the final product a lot better than Crystal can, especially with the latest interview with the lead of Square saying that, well, perhaps Crystal Dynamics was not a good fit for Marvel's Avengers. Like, duh! They're not a good fit for Tomb Raider, which they've been developing for like over 12, 15 years. But that's not too shocking to say that they're not good fit for Marvel in general, especially games as service. So I was quite shocked that they were even tasked with this, because they are totally a misfit for that kind of franchise. And they've never done a game as service before, so I don't even know who came up with the idea of actually even giving them the ability to develop Marvel's Avengers in the first place. They can't even, keep the fans of their franchise they've been developing the longest for the past few decades, like... Yeah, they just did, and they just released it, and despite everything, Guardians of the Galaxy is just, a pure fun game. I was actually not interested in ever playing it, but if I ever come up to a promo or something... where am I going? Wait, I'm actually going the right way. Yeah, they made a great Marvel game. They just got very good reviews, and it turns out that they can actually nail it. It's receiving favorable reviews. People are liking it. People are playing it. It has a lot of cool music because they got licenses for a lot of good tunes. Unfortunately, that can't be streamed. So even if I obtain this game, I will probably never stream it, because what's the point of streaming a game that does not have music in it? But yeah, I hear all the good stuff, and I actually saw it for a bit last night, and I kind of thought that it's actually cool. And that's me saying a total anti-Marvel recipient of the pop culture. I absolutely despise Marvel stuff, and I don't watch movies. I stay away from the TV shows and whatever else they produce, or should I say shit out of themselves. I'm just not very interested, but yep, they did. Right, and just this week, lead of Square Enix published an interview in which they said that, well, Crystal Dynamics is maybe not the best fit for that kind of game model. And I was like, duh, were you blind when you asked them to do Marvel's Avengers? Were you like retarded or something? That was known from day one. When I heard that they're doing a Marvel's game, I was like, why? Who made that happen? Like, what for? I mean, there are so many good developers they could choose from, and they chose the one that was probably going to fail. And I was hoping they'll fail, and I was right because they failed. And the backlash recently with the purchasable boosts and XP stuff, all that really made a lot of people even more furious with that game than they were before. And I'm glad. I was really hoping that they're gonna stop treating themselves as the wonder child that can make miracles. I'm still puzzled why Rise of the Tomb Raider received such good reviews as it did. Sure as hell they didn't deserve it. Bye, Mr. Skelly. Not interested in playing around with you. There we go. What's funny is that actually Eidos Montreal did not use their own game engine to develop Guardians of the Galaxy, and they still nailed it, and they still did it right. Ah, got another pillar key thing. Here she comes. Gliding through the room like she owns the place. Yeah, that could be an outcome, and I'm kind of afraid that they can do it. I mean, to me, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was actually the best Tomb Raider game they did in like a decade. But I believe because of the terrible promotion, they had terrible marketing. They just had non-existent marketing for that game, and it was very brief. It didn't land. People didn't even know that this game exists, and it was released at the same time as Marvel's Spider-Man, which was a very big bad decision that they did. They could have waited a month or two, or just basically release it at some other time, but no, they had to choose the worst date ever. Oh shit! And I died. Oh, thank goodness I didn't lose that much progress. Here we go. Uspokój się. To się strzelę. Śpi. Leż. Yeah, so if I'm to be honest, I am afraid that they're going to force Eidos to do more other types of games, and I do believe that they have more licenses. They have a contract with Marvel for more than just these two games. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to do. The Eidos might actually be forced to do more Marvel stuff, whilst Crystal is going to be forced to go back to your corner and do your Tomb Raider and just shut the fuck up, you know. Which is unfortunately going to be another bad decision by Square Enix, but hey. They are the people who are the culprit in all this, because they don't intervene in how these games are made. The game studio leads just do whatever they like, whatever they and Square just believes whatever they tell them, and that's a bad call. You need to control, you need to oversee, you need to look at the picture overall, because that is the reason why it cripples their promotion and the money revenue for those games. If they want to make high-profile titles, they need to make sure that they're monitoring how their studios handle their own brands. But of course, you know. No, actually, the marketing for Shadow was all in the hands of Eidos Montreal, and the people who are at Eidos Montreal and were around that time, they're still around, because obviously no one takes the blame or consequences for marketing. And marketing was the only reason why Shadow actually flopped, because, you know, other than that, the game was quite solid. Well, if you didn't cut out Paititi. I do have a feeling like Paititi, its execution might have been influenced by Crystal Dynamics, because it kind of feels like yet another attempt to do just the same stuff that was done in Rise, and I do have a feeling like it was their idea, and they just kind of said, yeah, it's gonna be... What the fuck? No, that's not right. It's not supposed to fail now. Oh, wait, I've been here. Oh, okay, so I just... Now, where was that? I think I should save, perhaps? It's funny that you can see Tutankhamun on the walls, but he was totally before the time of Cleopatra. Hi Marge, how's it going? Good to see you. As you can see, I am back, and I'm with more Tomb Raider 4 shenanigans. And thank goodness I'm going back to the normal streaming schedule, because I finally finished working from the office for the past 2 weeks. It's mainly the main reason why I didn't stream for the past 2 weeks, because I didn't have enough time, and I was so fucking exhausted from all the traveling back and forth between work and home, and, you know, waking up earlier and all that stuff. I just couldn't cope with actually physically going to work, and then, you know, streaming at the end of the day when I was super exhausted, because I was waking up at around 5 AM my time. So at around 10 PM I was already falling asleep. Whatever I was doing, I would still fall asleep. So I didn't do much. Chicken sandwich, that sounds awesome. Ah, this is where I should use the key. I mean the scarab. Please tell me you don't bug out. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I just had my my jab today, and yeah, I am kind of embarrassed to say I fainted, but it's because of the needle stuff. I can't explain it. It's not like I hate the needles per se. I don't mind them. It's just that ever since I was about 15-year-old, I don't know, every time I'm vaccinated in something, or when someone is taking blood samples from me, whenever a needle goes into my body, I just immediately just go flop like Lara dying in Ragdoll in Angel of Darkness. So yeah, that's just what happened. It took me about 40 minutes to get back on my feet, I was super embarrassed, but then again I got my jab, so I guess that's an underlying element to all of this. Oh, hey Neebs, I am doing fine. I wasn't for about 40 minutes after the jab, but that's because of the needle thing, but yeah, aside from that, I'm doing fine. Even my arm doesn't hurt really, it's just like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't even have a headache or anything like it, it's just fine. I only just slightly fainted after they injected me with the vaccine, but that's fine, you know. I'm a little girl when it comes to vaccines, and it's not like I have that mind setting, it's just something subconscious. I told the dude when I came into the to the room, it's like, yeah, hi dude, I'm gonna faint. I hope you're fine with it, or that you're prepared, because I'm going to faint with you today. It was like, yeah, whatever. And then I did it, and it was like, whoopsie. He was totally I mean, he kind of was prepared for it, like, because I told him to, but I mean, honestly, I know they know it happens to people, and that it's something beyond sometimes your control, but it was still kind of like, I felt quite silly about it. Right, that should do it. Let's save up progress. Of course, that bitch is gonna come up here. Oh, you fucking bitch. Fuck shit, this shit. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck off, you piece of shit. No, I didn't. I actually just went in and I said, hello, I want one vaccine, and also you will grant me one additional fainting dose. And he said, okay, and then he jabbed me, and then I fainted, and then I think I had a dream as I fainted, and then I woke up and I was like, I don't want to wake up, it's cozy, and then I realized I was sitting in a chair, and a guy was gently trying to wake me up, and I was like, whoa, did I faint? And he was like, yeah, you said you're gonna faint. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot, sorry. It only took me about 40 minutes to, well, you know, hello, one vaccine please, and also one fainting, and also, can I have an argument please? You know, it's the typical Monty Python kind of thing. But yeah, it was quite funny, but they were all fine with it. I just waited until I got myself sorted, and I just went home. Luckily, the drugstore when they actually created the vaccine point was just very close to my apartment, so it didn't take me long to get back. I went into the bathtub and relaxed for a bit, and that actually put me on my feet. Now I'm fine. It's just like nothing happened. But I'm like fully upgraded to 5G. Hopefully, you know, I will be assimilated or something, you know, the Borg thing. So I won't have to worry about, you know, sicknesses and stuff, you know. Have to see the light in all this, positive. Right, so we've got this settled. Ornate handle portal guardian, right. There we go. Bye. I actually got the one that's a single one, so I won't have to do that again. I did it for two reasons. One was that I had COVID this year, so I still have antibodies, so it's not like I am unprepared for it. So my doctor actually suggested I use Johnson, even though it's quite low in the initial dose. I mean, the only dose you get, but it actually, for people who had COVID, is the better one. That's what the doctor suggested. And also, when I thought about having second and third jab and then fainting with the next few months fainting again, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. So that's the reason why I went for Johnson. I know that I don't have the best opinion, but that was the best recommendation I could get from my doctor, and I went with it. So I'm fully vaccinated. I won't have to do it again, hopefully anytime soon. And when I do, it's going to be like maybe sometime next year. So yeah, the two underlying reasons were fair enough for me. And I told my doctor that, yeah, there's one little thing, I'm also fainting, and she said like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, you're probably gonna, but that's another reason why you should probably go for Johnson in the end. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, that's right. From this distance, he actually can't hit me. So I already have the certificate and all that kind of stuff. Birdies came to the bird feeder to eat something. Well, they almost ate everything, so I think they enjoy the stuff I gave them. Yeah, she misses. Yeah, it's just supposed to make you not die when you actually catch it. It's not supposed to make you immune at all. It's supposed to make make your body actually fight it and know how to fight it. It's just like a lesson to your immune system that, yeah, when you get this dude into your system, you know how to fight it, you know? You just do this, and that, and that's what it makes. And I was ill when I got my dose of COVID, and I have to say I would not want to have that again in the same way it happened to me in the beginning of the year, because Jesus Christ, that was not a pleasant experience. I saw a wonderful animation that really explains what the COVID vaccine does for the people who are really hard to understand it. It was made for like people with like children maybe, but it actually explains it quite well, and it was without even words, so it doesn't require language abilities. Oh, here we go, we're going to Cairo. I'm not hating it, it's not terrible, it's not wonderful, it's just like, yeah, it's okay.
Congratulations! You survived to fight another day. I trust that you now have all the armor. Jean-Yves shall be escorting us to Cairo, not entirely of his own free will, I admit. A simple trade, his life for the armor of Horus. Do not take too long thinking it over. Yours apologetically, Werner.
Well, that says a lot. Oh yeah, I absolutely love the FMVs in this game. They're so cool to watch. Christ. You mean bad healthcare as in Polish bad healthcare, Chasm? Because Jesus Christ, our healthcare is so terrible. Oh, you know what? Fuck off, you piece of shit. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, we need to separate this. Truth be told, I don't know who has the worst healthcare system. Poland, United States. Everywhere it's always underpaid and underfinanced, and always people are frustrated with it. I guess no one has invented a good system yet. But I suppose it's not going to be invented anytime soon. Now, time for some bike riding, shall we? Oh, I fucking love the bike. Go away, fucker. Nope. Now, if anyone wants to take notes how to play this level, then this is the good way to do it. And I'm not skipping stuff, so... Healing, please. Oh yeah, Kazim is a Polish person, so to speak. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know much about the NHS. I don't know how it's structured, how it functions. So it's hard for me to say whether it would have been better or worse, and just not commenting on the countries I know. I don't know how the health system functions. I just know that my system isn't as perfect as they painted, and it's actually terrible. And I know that the American one isn't perfect either, so I don't think they've invented a perfect healthcare system so far. Yeah, and then there's a case that everyone lives with today. The woman that was refused to have the fetus removed, and she got sepsis and died because of it, because, you know, the ban on abortion is so terrifying for the doctors that they would rather sit with on their hands and do something. So the woman died. Either way, I'm happy I'm jabbed. I'll have this over with for the time being, at least. I have a certificate. So even if there's an opportunity or chance for me to travel abroad, like, you know, changing the venue and moving myself from the Polish equation, I can. And whatever happens, I can legitimately go into a shop if they decide to, like, prevent people who are not vaccinated from going to shops, which is absolutely not gonna happen, because Jesus, they would probably burn the place down. But I don't know if I'm still young. I'm 34. I'm not sure if that still qualifies as fairly young. Yeah, I've heard that Texas actually banned abortion recently as well, so America isn't far-fetched from Poland. Everyone's younger than Cher. Well, maybe except for Madonna. But yeah, that's true. I'm younger than Cher. Oh yeah, Cher's older than the time itself. That's very, very true. I think at this point she is the time itself, you know. Oh, come on. There we go. Do you think she remembers how they built the pyramids, or is the age memory loss is making her not remember? Fuck off, you thing. Oh my god. She's the next boss in the next Tomb Raider game. Wait, we are getting bosses again in Tomb Raider? That would have been cool. I mean, this is a huge oversight. Crystal Dynamics used to do such awesome boss fights in the past, in the previous games, and they just kind of went so bland in the recent iterations of Tomb Raider or whatever else they make. More Uzi ammo, very good. I like the atmospheric lighting in this game. Yeah, there's a lot of people that left Crystal after they did Underworld, so the people who are doing the reboot games, they usually don't have much to do with the older games that Crystal did, or even their older titles like Soul Reaver and Legacy of Kain. That's why they're not even trying to do those games, because they don't know them. So yeah, I think a lot of people just, you know, left and doing other things in other companies that probably have bigger success than Crystal Dynamics. Fuck off, you piece of shit. Oh good, you left me a med pack. Wonderful news. I will definitely use it. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of people. If they were, they would have been probably part of the interviews for the Tomb Raider Legend Anniversary Underworld celebrations. I don't think there were any interviews with a lot of people from back there. I mean, I didn't see anything. Nothing surfaced my newsfeed on any of the social media that Tomb Raider is on, so I don't suppose there was much done with that regard. I was so happy that I was here. I was so happy I could squish him. I think that would have been very insulting to some of the TR level makers, because some of those levels, in my opinion, they feel more like Tomb Raider than anything that has been done by Crystal Dynamics. So if anyone asks me, I think their lower they're level lower, but they have bigger budget. If we want to be fair to the people who are doing the tier leagues, and the different and another underlying aspect is that tier league people are doing it for passion. They know they will not get paid for it, and they still do it. So if anyone asks me, I think it's safe to say that there's a bit more passion for the franchise within the tier league community than there is in Crystal Dynamics for anything they're doing. Fuck you, stupid bats. Because the difference is, TRL people aren't actually getting paid for this, and Crystal Dynamics is doing this solely for them. And there's no passion in what they're doing, because if there was, they wouldn't allow stupidities like, you know, oh, I don't know, Kitash being in Siberia, which is actually not in Siberia, because it's been beneath a lake that's actually somewhere in the real world. Supposedly, at least according to the legend, but they didn't even try to research anything. They just don't give a fuck at this point. They do these games like they would do them for Americans because they are Americans, and that's what we're getting served. Games made by Americans for Americans for the most part. Yeah, that's probably true, but, you know, you could still, like, I don't know, employ TRL people as consultants at least, or, you know, work closely with the society, with the community of Tomb Raider, but no, they just do their own thing because they're so full of themselves. There's so much sheer fucking hubris in them that they just don't even think that they should consult with anyone because, oh, we're such an experienced developer, we can do everything better. Even though the latest two games were not very well received, but who's counting? I mean, yeah, maybe Rise was well received, but I think, like, because, I don't know, the game redactions and people who actually reviewed those games were paid to review them positively, because there were games at the same time as Rise came out that were significantly a lot better and didn't treat the player as an idiot like Rise does. So I can't see any reason for praise for that game. You know, if you're doing a game which has legacy, if you're taking if you developer of a franchise that, you know, has a huge fan following from 25 years back, I think it would be only respectful for them to be at least partially involved. They are condescending. They think that they know better because, you know, they have this... It's a thing with Crystal. They think they can do everything better, and so, you know, they just force themselves to do stuff that they probably aren't capable of. Like, a good example is the Marvel's Avengers thing. You know, they were so sure that they can pull it off as game as a service, and it turns out they didn't do a good job because the game isn't very popular, people don't play it too much, and in the very end, it's still getting bad publicity for all of their stunts they've done. But it's, I remember the declarations of the launch that there will never be boosters that you can pay for because, you know, we believe in the fans and stuff. And then what they did a year later, they added paid boosters for the game. And I was like, Jesus, I knew that that's going to happen. I knew they were going to do it. I so fucking knew it. Right, what was that stupid piece of shit? There you are. Bye. It's because they feel overconfident about everything they're doing, and you know, you can't do anything if they're not controlled by the publisher, Square Enix, I'm looking at you. If you don't control them, they do whatever they want, and then the game flops, and then who's to blame? I mean, it's both sides, but I think the culprit is Square Enix because they don't control what their studio does. Oh, I'm not intending to try it, but a lot of people play it when it was in an open beta, when, you know, the game was about to be released in like few weeks, and they opened it for everybody on the major platforms, and people didn't like it. They thought that it's an okay game, but it has nothing standing out. There's nothing that would, you know, keep you coming for more, because the content that was set to be released, it was not delivered on time, and well, that's a big surprise considering that they've never done a game as a service, and that's not a type of game that they should do, because they don't have any experience in it, and they're not very good at it either. So you can easily see that they are not a very honest game dev studio, and Square Enix is the culprit as well, because they actually forced them to do it, or at least they even considered Crystal for doing it, even though they had nothing in portfolio that would basically show that they're capable of pulling off a project like this. I mean, one of the reasons why you are an owner of a studio and a franchise is that you should manage it. You should know what your studios are capable of, what they can and can't do, and you just either trust them or micromanage them. It's either or. If you want revenue. Yeah, they said there would be no microtransactions and they added them. Yeah, that's just plain hypocrisy. But that, you know, Crystal to me is not a big surprise. They are hypocrites. Oh yes, the invisible beetle. That's cute. I think I've collected everything. Oh no. One more thing before I get the Minotaur to chase my ass. I knew that they're gonna bring them, because the game wasn't selling enough and they just need to give boosters when the game isn't selling well. It's a common mechanic. Blizzard all over again. I don't know much about Blizzard. I'm not very invested in any of the titles. I don't think I've ever played any of the Blizzard titles, so I can't say for sure, but from what I hear, that they also just don't do well these days. Is it a shocker? I'm not sure. Should it be? But you know, there is a general problem with game development recently, and it's just showing everywhere. Blizzard dynamics. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm shunned by at this moment, so I don't even care what they're gonna say if I keep ranting about Crystal. I just don't think they're a very good game developer. Well, Activision is not without fault itself, from what I understand. Although they're not as bad as EA, I suppose. Oh my god, a mobile game after not making a major game in so many years? Yeah, I still don't really understand why the mobile game market is really overtaking all of the game franchises. And it's not even slowly overtaking it. If I wanted to play a game on my mobile, I would have probably used it. I just don't give a shit about mobile games. Like, really, honestly. Stupid fucker. And there's a mech pack. We will gladly take care of. I just need to repark the bike and should be good to go. I don't see money in mobile games. Maybe I'm old-fashioned or something. I just can't play video games on mobile. I just can't give a shit about it. I just don't like it. I hate playing on that small screen. I just genuinely dislike it. Alright, time to bring the Minotaur to chase our ass. I don't know why Minotaur is even here. It's not like it's part of the Egyptian mythology, but I'm not gonna judge. Some cool music that actually, I think it was supposed to be in Tomb Raider 3. I mean, I even tried to do the Witcher game, that, you know, the game that does like simple basics like Pokemon Go, it just put in the guise of The Witcher, and I absolutely hated it. I mean, I can't imagine playing this game in the long run. I don't know, maybe I've outgrown mobile games, but I just can't be hooked to them, and I'm so frustrated when my battery drain goes downhill because I'm playing a mobile game on it. Phones are not made for games to me. Maybe when it was Snake and it was just a time killer, but now they're trying to show like large complex games into that small screen and I just can't be bothered. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, but just don't like it. I don't think the chip has developed yet, but yeah, I don't think I will be paying for any microtransactions. My wallet still has not expanded. I'm barely meeting ends right now, so that's not gonna happen anytime soon. Yeah, the time killers, you know, the Tetris, Pac-Man, stuff like that, but something you play while you're on a bus. Like, I really enjoyed Mini Metro out of all games. When you're trying to figure out a metro system for a city. And to an extent, it's actually a fun game, but it has its limit, and you know... Get off me, you piece of shit. I hate those beetles. Yeah, Lara Croft Go was fun, but I think they were just lucky with the formula. But I wouldn't want to see a lot of other games like this. Hitman Go was fun too, but... and yeah, Lara Croft Go is definitely better than any of the main games that Crystal has done. It has the feel of the old games. It does use the sounds from Tomb Raider 1, like the pistols, like Lara's grunts, so it does still have the feel of Tomb Raider. The graphics are kind of like... They're still kept in similar, you know, retro feel of the classic games, but
What in God's name has happened here? Where are the rest of my men?
I banged into a couple of them. They appear to have sealed off all the exits.
Yes. Yes, this is good. You must help us to liberate the city.
I'm just here for directions. I need a route to the Citadel.
This is not so good. This is where the main activity takes place.
Activity?
We encountered it as the skies began to darken. A creature from our ancient past. It tore through my men like a firestorm. I managed to station our ammunition truck before the beast, with a mind to igniting the explosive device in the rear. But with renewed vigor, it forced us back. It was as if it knew of our plans.
Beast or no beast, Sarge? I've got to get into that building.
You have spirit, perhaps. As we retreated, we have mined some of the streets to prevent contamination. 2 of my men are still in the area, out by the northern cemetery. One of them holds the frequency for the mine detector. The other holds the second half of the code for the explosive device.
And if I find them?
Tell them Sergeant Aziza sent you. I heard your motorbike. Once you have the
Yeah,
codes,
those Beatles are
take
pain
me
in the
on
arse.
it to the ammunition truck. I shall eradicate the blockage. But hurry, I am not long of this world.
Okay, well let's then help Sergeant Caesar, shall we? Yeah, those huge oversized beetles are terrible, but I hate the locusts just as well. And there's this little fella. I did give it a listen, but I didn't go through the entire thing, so I can't say that anything has caught my ear so far, except for the 2 album pieces that they released initially. But I think I need to give it a proper listen to actually make a verdict. Not munching on me, not gonna happen. Excuse me, came for the collectibles. I did listen like a few tunes, I think they're too soft for me. I don't know, it just feels a bit more melodramatic than I remembered. ABBA, it was not much disco from what I've checked. I mean, yeah, I think the 2 that were released on YouTube 2 months ago when they announced that they're coming back were like the best of them all. They felt nostalgic and they felt like, yeah, you know, they had the sparkle, but the rest of the album for me felt like, I don't know, it didn't catch anything in me. I didn't think I listened to the entire thing, so I might just be throwing out the verdict, but I don't know, I was expecting a little bit different stuff. I think they released a tune that they recorded in 1976 that they've never released before, and yeah, I think I liked that one as well, but it isn't like blowing me away like Voulez-Vous or, I don't know, anything else that we know and is popular to this day. I don't even know why this is here. Like, this is supposed to be a riddle? It's not a riddle. You just pull all the levers and it's getting open. I don't even know why this is here. Too made of music. Would never look at them that way, but maybe they are. Well, at least no one took over. They're still the same people. They're just in a different place at the time. They're lives and at a different age, in a different era. I think there's a lot of things that are different now in that music because, you know, they've aged and a lot of time has passed. Their relationships are different than they were before. There are a lot of reasons why this might be not the same. Get off me, you stupid bat. I hate bats. I genuinely hate bats in Tomb Raider games. The only bats I tolerated were the ones in Anniversary. But they were not annoying. Okay, so... Oh, I don't think I've ever listened to Rolling Stone, so I don't think I can throw an opinion about it. Here we go, just another secret, and I think those are explosive crossbow bolts, so I'll gladly take care of those. You know, I think it's just a trend to revive everything and anything. You know, the one reason why you do it is because it, you know, gives money, because people buy nostalgia. I mean, I can't say that I didn't like the two tunes that they released 2 months ago on YouTube, but I don't think ABBA's got the same spark as they did back then. Bye, Scarab. Okay, for my next trick, I will just avoid the monkey swing. Oh my god. Mick Jagger, stop singing like a goat. Fuck those stupid beetles. Freaking hate those things. Alright, so we've got the nitrous canister. Now I need the pipe. Male Shakira. Oh my Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, that's harsh. But I love it. Oh, get away, you stupid thing. I hate this. Force damage like this. You can't even defend yourself from this. Get off me, you pieces of shit. Oh sure, add bats to that. Oh Christ. Fuck off, you stupid bat. Right. Yeah, well, Lara isn't giving
Your
any.
bike will need modifications to clear some of the larger obstacles. Nitrous oxide connected to the carburetor should give you the extra punch. Go, guys. Bring me the codes.
Are you still alive, you piece of crap? Christ, I hate those bats. Well, as I said, I don't know much about Rolling Stones music. It's not my thing. I mostly listen to electronic and instrumental stuff. I used to listen to Madonna, but when she started to sound like her own grandmother and, you know, started to do weird collaborations, I was like, yeah, fuck you, Madonna. I'm not gonna pay you a penny anymore. But yeah, I guess can't win them all. It's not the same music from the start of... Yeah, to me, Madonna was finished after she did Hard Candy. She hasn't done anything musically relevant since then, and that's 2006, 8? Confessions on the Dance Floor was probably the latest good album that she did. Hard Candy was 50-50, it was half crap, half good stuff, and then she went downhill from then. Stuff like collabs and stuff, it's just painful to listen to for the most part. Which ammo is it? Oh great, it's the one I don't use. It's a flash ammo. Oh well. That's okay. I just have no opinion on Rolling Stones because I don't think I know any of their tunes. It's just not my type of music. I don't want to be critical if I don't know them. And I really don't know anything about them. Oh shit. Didn't I save? Ah, at least I saved here. Fucking those flamethrowers. I don't know, I think maybe they just want to hit nostalgia. You know, why Tomb Raiders aren't good as they could have been? Well, because... Oh, actually... That doesn't apply. They don't run on nostalgia. They run on an unimaginative crap. Sorry, my bad. Although I think... Oh, hey, Matakan. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing fine. Just had my today I had my vaccine, and so started a little later than I've anticipated. But I think it's going swell. I don't have any side effects, and it's all good. Oh, great! This thing, I hate it. Fuck off. There we go. I should get rid of it. Yep, totally have to agree with that assumption. I mean, with that opinion. No, don't. Oh. Fuck you, game. Just fuck you. Well, to be honest, I was also quite skeptical at the beginning, but I reached out to a few people that I trusted, and I was convinced in the end that it's probably in my best interest to actually get vaccinated. Because I got COVID this year, I decided I don't want to do it again. Fuck you, stupid crap. These guys are annoying. They shoot you right in the face, like there's no distance between you and them. It's just so annoying. I don't think they did anything with the camera. It just does what it always did, and the crawl spaces just came out to be a little bit sexist in terms of how Lara is depicted in them. I don't think it was intentional. I think they just didn't have an idea what to do with the camera during the crawl spaces, and they didn't want to confuse player by doing a fixed camera to a position. There was no accident making her tits bigger. Toby didn't have anything to do with the size of the boobs. It was just... That was how... I think they had limitation on the polygons. They couldn't make them more rounded, and they were just done that way to actually show that she's a female, just to underline that she has female shape. So she wouldn't stand out like a male character. I think that's an urban legend about it, that her boobs were made bigger by Toby by an accident, or by any of the programmers, as a matter of fact. They did them large here because the marketing said, ooh, make them bigger, so they made them bigger, and they're like this. But I don't think it was like an underlying quality that they were aiming for. Yeah, especially that the resolutions were terrible in the olden times. So you wouldn't see a lot of details in the character unless you did the very over-the-top texture and over-the-top shape of the model. Otherwise, it would have been just undistinct for you. You wouldn't be able to tell. And when it comes to the camera, I think they just didn't want to mess around with it, because I think that whenever they tried to do something like with it, it started to be buggy. Like when they tried to do the camera closer to Lara when you're looking in Tomb Raider 3, it kind of broke when Lara was climbing things, because the camera was fixed on the wrong angle. So I think they were struggling with the camera positioning when they were making 3 and 4. So I think this is the best they could have done. No force damage taken. Yeah, sometimes sarcasm doesn't translate well on chat. That's okay. I've been called salty because I said something that sounded sarcastic, but I mean, didn't sound sarcastic, and people just misunderstood me. I do that all the time, so don't worry. And I do that all the time when I'm even talking, so don't worry about it, Marge. I don't think it's a big problem. Anyway, verbal communication over chat is always the funny thing when you can misunderstand what people wanted to say and what they actually said. Right, we're done with this guy. We can go for the torch. Yeah, I think people think because the way I'm phrasing some of my opinions, especially on Twitter, people think I'm very salty about stuff. And it's just my level of sarcasm. It's just very, very specific. And if you heard me talking, I think you would understand what I meant. But sometimes written word doesn't give you the precision you would like to have, especially when you have a limitation of how many characters you can put it into. And I really dislike doing multiple tweets just to... I mean, I try to be as forward and as forthcoming as I can be, but yeah, sometimes there are limitations of what you can and cannot say, and it's just something you can't help when you're using a language which is not exactly familiar with you, or like it's not your native tongue. I don't mind it, I honestly don't really have much care for the opinion of people who don't have any influence over my life, so I'm fine with it if people say that I'm aggressive, or that I'm salty, or that I'm very, very harsh. It's just like, that's just my way of doing things, and what can I say? People will not live my life for me. I just stopped giving a shit, and that's a lesson I got from Lara, actually. She doesn't give a shit, you know, in the classic times, and I'm really clinging on to that, especially when I was playing this game, and... Please. Oh yeah, the British humor is one of my favorite types of humor. Even if it's really harsh, like, you know, Monty Python. doing stuff very, very literally, and I just loved it. Little Britain is another example of the humor I do really like. The slap in the face, ironic and sarcastic, but I love it. Yeah, that's my philosophy, and I think it's helped me quite a great deal of living my life in peace without being worried about what people say. The only thing I really care for is if I'm doing something, if I'm doing it the right way, and if it's showing quality. But it's more like my quality in my sense, not the other way around. Why did I? Are you fucking kidding me? Right, I can't climb because of that stupid thing with the hammer. Can someone give him nails and a Jesus so we can practice a little? But oh god, my dog is farting like there's no tomorrow. Okay, so we should... Oh, I know where I need to go. I need to go here. You mean Monty Python? Because I don't remember Little Britain tackling archaeology. I don't think I've watched everything Monty Python has ever done, because mostly I'm not having the time for like googling for all of this and finding all of the clips, but they did a lot of golden stuff that I really liked. Yeah, I might have not seen that, but I'm pretty sure it was awesome because they really nail it. Really? I'm gonna heal myself as soon as I cross the level. What's the point? So freaking frustrating. Oh yeah, I don't remember that one. I think I've seen the flying circus only once in my life. I've seen all other stuff, like Life of Brian multiple times, Holy Grail, but Flying Circus is probably the one I've seen the least of. I think I've seen it once. That did it. Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
Put your gun away. Aziza sent me.
Help me, Englisher. I bleed to death. I try to hide, but those things smell the blood on me.
I've come for the mine frequency. I need to get back to Aziza through this rabbit warren, with both legs intact.
I do a good job with the mines. Not that it does us any good. We are all dead or half dying.
Where are the rest of you? I need the explosive codes.
Saida, my colleague, lies across the roof bridge in the mosque. As we retreated, something new that we had not encountered before came from the shadows like lightning and took his head.
The codes?
Inside his head, inside the creature.
I need those codes.
Search his body. I don't know. Leave me now, for I am weak and wish to prepare myself for my god.
Right, he's preparing for his god, and we'll just continue to scavenge through the place. Right, let's save because there's a bug here that will prevent you from actually falling out of this space. Yeah, I'm starting to feel that my arm hurts a little bit, but just around the place when I was vaccinated, so that was to be expected. It's not terrible, it's just like something beneath the surface that's slightly hurting, but it's just a numb pain. It's just not very annoying. Okay, let's do this. We do have the car jack now, so we should be fine. The car jack. I remember watching Laurie play this not so long ago before she went to her vacation, I think. Yeah, I don't think I should have any problems with my heart. I mean, no one of anyone I know who was vaccinated ever had any issues. Not that I had the means to monitor my heart rate, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting to be, I was expecting maybe a headache or something, but nothing of the sort arrived yet, and it's been almost 7 hours since I took it, so I don't think anything is going to happen, and there's just, the pain is so, Johnson's baby. Brilliant. Really. Oh, will they? Should I be afraid? Or are you being sarcastic again? I'm not worried, to be honest. Yeah, I love the lighting and the colours in this game. Jesus, it still holds up in terms of the atmosphere. That's funny, but I'm not gonna bother with you and waste ammo for you. Not worth it. Right, since I've got the key and detonator, yeah, mine detonator, nice and ready. No, I took a wrong turn. Although I think I can jump over. Does he have any grenade gun or something? You know, I still remember my COVID infection, and I don't want to repeat it. If I get a mild headache or like a fever during the night, it's fine comparing to what I had when I was actually going through my infection. The first 3 days were the worst. I was having terrible headaches. I had an awful fever. I was coughing. I was sweating like a pig for no apparent reason, aside from the fever, probably. But I felt so fucking weak, as if, I don't know, an elephant sat on me. I couldn't lift myself from the bed, so... I still prefer to be vaccinated and have a mild headache than anything else for that matter. Oh, fuck off. These dudes are terrible. That's why I just, when people say they hate Chiron, it's like, Jesus, this level's so atmospheric. You're losing so much of it when you're just punching through it and not exploring the feel of this place. I mean, sure, it's probably off the scale when it comes to the size of Cairo, actually, especially the ancient size of it, but I still enjoy it. It feels so different from the entire game, and I think it's a it's a break from all the Egyptian thing. So I have to say that I do enjoy it because it gives you a breather of a different area, different atmosphere, comparing to the entire game where it's all Egypt tunes. I mean, I'm never tired of Egypt and tunes, but that being said, it's a nice breather when you just don't get shoved the same stuff over and over. Let's make some shoes. Shoe number 1, shoe number 2. was a shoe number 3 that's gonna be made very soon. Yeah, well, I went through the COVID infection because, well, first my mom is an anti-vax, anti-COVID. She's a disbeliever. So she brought it home. She didn't say a word that she had it. She just stayed at home because she felt sick, probably, and yeah, that's what she did. And she infected my dad without telling him. He met with me and he sold it to me, and I wasn't allowed to take a vaccination because I was too young.
Lara, and you handle
they were
yourself
doing
pretty well, Sergeant. You've got the codes? What now?
Basically,
After all we've been through,
I was the only one who actually suffered
this is
through it.
merely insurance.
Against what?
Against your stopping me from doing my duty. Somebody needs to drive that truck in there.
Kamikaze.
Whatever it takes for my country. In the next life, then, my friend.
Well, if she fought it through, then she must have a strong organism. Because I know for a fact that it really kicks your ass at some on a level you really don't want to go that way. So yeah, she was lucky that she made it through, even though everyone goes through the infection on a little bit different scale, but it all differs. Right, we're done with Cairo. Now we're on the Citadel. What would you guys say? Because I would probably need to take my popper out for a spin very shortly. I'm not sure if I'll be streaming more today because there's that community thing and there will be a few people I would like to watch. What would you say if you raided Laurie? Because she's doing her bit for the 2013 reboot Team Raider, and I would say it would have been nice to pop in. I did say that the Citadel great. So yeah, I think I'm just... my mom is a complicated matter. She's both religious. She is a Protestant, by the way, so not a Catholic. But she went overboard with logic, and, she does her own thing right now. She kind of is a combination of an ultra-orthodox Protestant with an anti-vax, anti-pandemic person. We've fallen out a bit for the past few years because she really went overboard with almost every aspect of her life. You can't even watch a bloody animation film or like I don't know, any movie for that matter without her making any religious remarks about how God is wonderful and all that kind of stuff. And I honestly can't be bothered. So yeah, if anyone asks me, my relationship with my mom is a bit awkward at the moment. But that's not something I can force. I can't force her to do stuff that she's not willing to, like, think or, like, research. She just watches a clip on YouTube and takes it for granted as if it was truth. And I tried to warn her that the internet is full of shit and people who really will not tell you the truth, but there she goes. She doesn't give a fuck. She's still, like, following her own thing. So, yeah, my mom is very complicated. The older she gets, the harder it gets to talk to her. But it's her life. I'm not gonna force her to think the way I think just because I want it to, and she's very adamant about doing her own thing the way she wants it to. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it, do whatever you like. You do you. I'm not gonna bother. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do a raid, and I'm sure Laurie's not gonna be expecting a raid, but let's just surprise her. I think it would be only fair to do a raid and just add slight viewership to the community stuff that's happening, because they're still doing a Tomb Raider reboot thing, and despite my feelings about reboot, there are a lot of people that care for that are participating, so I think we're gonna do that. Yeah, I'm a very hard atheist, and there's no way I'm going to be religious ever again, even though I had an episode with my mom's church when I was around 17, 18 years old. But I will never step into any church ever again, because I honestly think that this is a destructive thing, and it should be a personal thing. It should not be manifested in a public area. It should be left to people, to their own devices, but that should not be put into any way into the public space. That's what I think. I'm fine. I'm not having a headache. I'm not feeling tired. I'm just thinking that in like 20 minutes my dog is going to be whimpering around and asking me to go, and I wouldn't want to abruptly end the stream without, like, in the middle of a puzzle or something. And this is a perfect way to stop, because it's the beginning of the next section, when I'll be doing a lot of stuff within the Citadel. You know what? Tomorrow I might be doing a longer stream. I think if I'll feel alright, I will do something around noonish my time, so something around 4 hours prior to the moment we're in. And so I will be probably doing some Tomb Raider 4, and if I'll have the feel like it, I can do TR. I was thinking about doing Sundays dedicated to TR, and I have a perfect TR that has, I don't think I've seen it a lot played on the stream, so I think it will be a great way to play it for a bit. So yeah, tomorrow will be for a bit longer, and I will be doing a lot more stuff. So yeah, because today was a bit hectic with all the side effects of my fainting when I was vaccinated. I didn't calculate that into the equation. I thought that 2 hours between the vaccination and starting the planning to start the stream was fine, but I actually needed a bit more time. But that's fine. I'm fine with it. Hope to see you again soon, guys. And yeah, I'll be raiding Laurie for the time being and say hello. Laurie's awesome. You both know her, and I think she deserves all the votes of confidence we can throw at her, because I know that she sometimes struggles with anxiety, so just wanted to throw a bit of a booster. So here we go, setting up a raid, and I will be moving away from the game screen, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks, McClan, for being here. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll hope to see you again next time. Cheers, guys. Thanks for being here today again. And I'm still pretty much fine, so don't worry about me.